It's live. It's live.
Well, I think we're live.
Barney is a dinosaur with your reimagining
Star Wars.
Hello. This is Reimagining Star Wars, and we're going to do a short little live stream tonight because Vega wants to do some live streaming, don't you, Vega?
Yes. Barney is a dinosaur with your imagination. I don't remember the rest of the song.
It's not Star Wars.
Star Wars Barney is a dinosaur with your imagination.
Oh, you're so silly. Oh. Well, obviously you can tell we're in a silly mood tonight. And so a couple things going on, and we just kind of want to chit-chat about them. And so basically the new trailer has come out. We kind of mentioned it earlier this week. There's been a bunch of videos on it for the Clone Wars Season 7.
I'm still triggered at Kathleen Kennedy. She got me hyped up for the Obi-Wan thing.
Oh, so you want to talk about Obi-Wan first?
Yeah.
Okay, because you're a little mad about it?
Yeah.
Do you want to rant on that?
Yeah, I want to throw a fork at Kathleen Kennedy.
A fork or a spoon? I thought it was a spoon.
Both.
Okay, so the drawer of silverware.
Yeah. All of the drawers.
But why? Why? What's going on that's such a big deal?
She delayed it until next year thingy.
Well, yeah. So they said it's still on track to be coming out in January, right? But I thought it was supposed to come out like in the fall or something like that.
I want it to be now.
Well, yeah. Well, it's not going to come out now. It wasn't going to come out now.
Still triggered.
Right.
If I had a power to choose, it would be to pick up metal.
What does that have to do with Obi-Wan?
Then I could just pick up all the silverware in the world, even the knives, and then throw it at Kathleen Kennedy.
Right. So what do you know what I think?
What?
So this rumor's been going on for a week, right? And about the Obi-Wan series being canceled, it being reduced from 6 episodes to 4 episodes, and then also it from and now we hear it's officially delayed, and so this has been coming on, and it seems to be aptly timed with the really awesome trailer for Season 7 Clone Wars, right?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, we're doing a chronological review every week. So we just finished off Season 2. We're going into Season 3 this next week. And it's not exactly by season since we're doing it chronologically, but it's still pretty cool.
But I don't get why you would just waste all your time on those videos. And then when you say it's going to be 6 episodes each season, you change it to 4 episodes each season.
Well, I don't get what you're saying, but so the story is basically there were 6. There's only going to be a run of 6 episodes. It's not each season. It's only one season of Obi-Wan. All right.
There's only one season?
Right. There's only going to be one season.
So you're telling me that they're only going to make one season.
Right.
Of that series.
It's like a mini series. They used to have mini series like that when on regular TV when I was growing up. When I was your age, we used to watch mini series on TV.
Why would you waste all your time on that?
No, because
just for a mini series. You just wanted a mini series.
Right, so you don't want to tell the story? You don't think the story about Obi-Wan would be really cool?
It should be longer.
Right, but so we'll probably get 3 to 6 hours of time, and the movie you only get about 2.
If you really
so you get more time with the character in a miniseries than you would in a movie.
If you really want it to be a miniseries, you should just create it to be mini for a mouse or a bunny.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
No. Then it would be. Then it would
like Babu Freak, that tiny,
yeah,
mini like that.
Yeah. So it could actually be a mini series. Because to them, if they have an iPad or a phone, and if they're smaller than that,
then it's a large series.
Yeah. It should be a mini-series. Mini-series.
Okay, we're getting into silliness, but so you're upset is the key point of that, right?
Yeah.
So if it comes out in 2021 still, are you going to be okay with that?
No.
So you want it this year?
This year. We waited.
They weren't supposed to start filming until this summer.
Okay.
Now they're just delayed 6 months to start filming next January. I mean, to me, if you're going to be
Fire them. Fire them.
I think that's what a lot of people are saying. Fire Kathleen Kennedy, right? Would you agree with them?
I don't like her face.
You don't like her face? Okay, I mean, I guess
her eyes are too high.
Her eyes are too high. Okay, well, I guess that's a reason to judge a producer. I mean, she's actually pretty accomplished. Do you think that matters? Do you think this is one mistake too far?
Yeah.
So.
And plus, a lot of people are complaining about her about the movies.
Right.
But The Mandalorian's good. I still like The Mandalorian.
Yes, but they say she didn't have much involvement in The Mandalorian.
Who created Mandalorian then?
John Favreau.
John Favreau, you stay. Kathleen Kennedy, you go.
Right. So John Favreau and Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni is
Dave Filoni, you stay. John Favreau, you stay.
So Rebels, which we really liked, right? Mm-hmm. That was Dave Filoni.
You stay, Dave Filoni.
All right. And Clone Wars, which we're watching, is Dave Filoni as well. George Lucas was part of that as well.
Good job, George Lucas.
Well, of course, he did the whole thing. Everything's his idea.
I wonder how old he is now.
So if you had your way, would you bring George Lucas back?
Yeah.
You think he should be back?
Yeah, he's better than Kathleen Kennedy.
Well, I would agree with that. He created the whole thing.
I don't get why he would give it to Kathleen Kennedy, but I do get that.
That is a good question, right? I mean, he selected her, right? Do you think that's because she was his friend?
Yeah, but he.
Do you think they're still friends?
If I was her friend, I would choose the person I trust the most with experience of Star Wars.
Oh,
Not either those friends, but experience.
Right. So, I mean, Dave Filoni worked with him a lot. Do you think Dave Filoni should have gotten the job?
Yeah. And
maybe what George should have set up was like a president who runs all this stuff, and then he sets up people who are over Star Wars, and then one that's over the other properties of Lucasfilm. Because I mean, Lucasfilm doesn't just have Star Wars; it has Indiana Jones, it has Willow, it has the Labyrinth. So it's got a few other things too. And
yeah, but what Kathleen Kennedy missed here is that she didn't really pay attention to the movies he made.
Right.
She's like trying to bring back the past when we don't want the past, we want the future.
Right. Well, I mean, I think she's trying to. Maybe the future that she sees is not the future that's in line with the past. So it's not just that we want the future. We want a future that's in line with the past. Something called consistency. Mm-hmm. Right. So if the reason why that's important is because if I set rules for you, right, mm-hmm. and you rely on those rules to stay the same, so that you know what's going to happen, what's going to get you in trouble, and what's going to keep you safe, right? Mm-hmm. Well, the same thing is true in a story. That it's important to know what stories are in the continuity. So you can't have a discontinuity in a story. Otherwise, it makes you question what is possible in that story and what can come about.
What if you like it or not? Or because if you don't like it, and you're not able to get another book until you read the whole entire book, so you have to choose carefully.
Right. So I mean, like if you're reading a book, if you're reading a bunch of stories together, and they're all the same story, right? But they're all together a bunch of books. Mm-hmm. Right? You want those books to be connected, and the rules that's in the first book to be the same rules that's in the second book, even though the second book is in the future from the first book, right? Because if the rules are different, then you get confused by what happened in the first book, right? Mm-hmm. So that's kind of the complaint with the new trilogy, right? Is that the stuff that happened in the original trilogy and in the prequels doesn't seem to matter in the new trilogy, and that is considered a discontinuity. It's not like it's in the same world, the same universe, and that's why people complain.
But I really don't want to complain about George Lucas, but if he thought that Kathleen Kennedy had the experience,
well, no. She did have the experience.
Well, but she didn't have enough. That's why she's failing at the movies and why she's tearing apart the Fandomverse. And
the fandom. We have the Fandomverse. She's not tearing it apart.
Oh, true. Phantomverse.
The fandom.
Phantom.
No, fandom.
Phantom.
It's not a ghost.
It's a phantom.
No, it's a fandom.
It's a phantom. Phantom.
You're just being stubborn?
Yep.
So it's the fandom.
Phantom.
All right, so she's tearing apart the fandom.
Phantomverse.
Because people disagree, and it's all based on the continuity. So you have a lot of new fans, all right, apparently, and then some old fans. I mean, Santa likes the new stuff, but he likes it. He puts it in a context. We have friends on here that like it, and the context is that the prequels weren't all that continuous with the original trilogy. So they set up a new chapter 1, and that chapter 1 didn't align with how things went in chapter 2. And right? And so it took a lot of what they call retconning, which is retroactive continuity, to fix the lining until how it lines up. Well, so then we go into the sequel trilogy, and the same thing is true that doesn't line up. Does that make sense? And that's why people are complaining.
But what I think George Lucas should have done is that if he just wanted to make sure that that Lucasfilm was going okay, he should have guided Kathleen Kennedy more, through all the steps of what Star Wars actually is and what the fans like.
Right. Well, I mean, so there's a theory that because Kathleen Kennedy was George Lucas's friend, that when he sold it to Disney, right, and with her in charge of Lucasfilm, that she would listen to him. So by default, he would still have some control of his company and be able to guide Star Wars and maybe even Raiders of the Lost, or not Raiders, but Indiana Jones and any other properties that he had. So he could create stories still, but do it through Kathleen Kennedy, who was his friend. Does that make sense? So was that something you would do? You would do that? So would you trust Kathleen Kennedy?
No.
Not now, but you would have then, probably, right? If you had a friend,
yeah.
And even though it was your story, that person said, "Hey, yeah, I'll listen to you, and I want to make sure your story stays true." Oh, good. It means you'll listen to me when I say this is what you should do with the story.
But me, I'd be like,
or you just not sell it.
I'll probably not sell it. I'd be like, Cat. No, I'm fine.
But you know that now, right? I mean, but you wouldn't know that 10 years ago.
Yeah, because I wasn't even born.
Right, but George was. George picked Kathleen Kennedy in 2012, just before he sold it to Disney to run Lucasfilm.
True. But
I think do you think she truly understood Star Wars?
No.
No?
She probably just wanted it to make money.
I think she was genuinely a good producer. I mean, she's got a lot of things she's done.
She'd probably be a producer, but a director?
Well, she's not a director, but an executive producer has a lot of things to do. They don't just, they guide a story. They try to keep it together so that it runs smoothly and that people keep, the main theme together. So her guidance is really important to make sure that a story, and the only time that is taken to the back, so you don't have any input into a story, really, is if the person who's writing the story and the directing story is a what they call a tour de force. So it's somebody who has the ability to run everything without you. And so the people she worked for before that were Steven Spielberg and George Lucas.
Well,
and
Kathleen Kennedy should have never became producer. But
she's a good producer, but you mean she shouldn't have been president of Lucasfilm?
Yeah.
I thought you liked the sequel trilogy.
But she deleted it.
Well, so you just want her gone because of one thing?
Yeah.
Or do you think that even though you liked the trilogy, even though you liked the sequel trilogy, you see how much discontent it made, right?
Yeah. I don't.
So no, you don't see that. You just blew it past it.
I don't want her to actually go. I just want her to not be president.
Right. So what do you mean?
Like, she should hand the president part off to, like, a fan or something that actually understands Star Wars.
Okay. So you don't think she understands Star Wars, but what do you base that off of?
Like, I base that off of, like, somebody lying that they actually understand it when somebody else understands it, and they replace the person who actually understands it, so sort of like Cinderella or something, for them. I don't know what I'm saying.
I believe that. So here's the skinny of it, is that we have Vega thinks that Kathleen Kennedy should probably go, and I think she will go in 2021. I think they're going to let everything expire. I think her last movie is going to be Indiana Jones, and I think it'll perform pretty well for an Indiana Jones film, and it will be something that will let her go out on top. I think that they're probably removing her from Star Wars. But here's the thing. This is what the issue that I'm seeing across the board with Kathleen Kennedy. Whether it was Force Awakens, Rogue One, Solo, across what we see is this inability to make decisions until they're crucial. So there's not an ability to guide pre-production in a way that creates a product that is continuous, that flows, and avoids the pitfalls that have hit so many of the Star Wars movies. I think I agree with some others that she doesn't fully understand Star Wars. But that said, we did get The Mandalorian under her watch, even though it was Jon Favreau who really probably had complete creative control, and she had very little to do with it. And we have the Clone Wars Season 7 coming out, which I'm pretty excited about. Additionally, which Rebels came out under her watch, and we really like Rebels. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's good. And so we liked Rogue One. We liked Rogue One a lot, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we actually liked Solo, didn't we?
Yeah.
And when that came out, we saw it in theaters, but we got a discount. It was not for Solo when we went and saw it. So, but we still paid for it.
Yeah.
Just a different way.
I'm not saying that Kathleen Kennedy is not really a good producer.
Right.
But
she's not a good president.
She's not a good president.
And she shouldn't be running Star Wars.
Yeah, and she doesn't really have such a creative mind that runs in their fans' minds. Right.
I mean, I think maybe she's slightly behind on the understanding of how everything fits together. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, she's like, it's like when you didn't watch a Resistance episode and you're behind and you're taking a live stream like we do, and by the way, we're behind on Resistance.
We are. We haven't caught up either. So next month it'll come out on Disney Plus. We'll probably just binge watch it then, and do a couple of episodes on that. You think that'd be pretty cool? Maybe we can do a few live streams on that.
Oh yeah.
You like that idea?
I think I do. I'd live stream. If we're able to live stream on our phone or iPad, then I just go to the living room and talk about Resistance watching it.
Wow, yeah, that'd be a pretty cool deal.
We
don't have enough subscribers for that. So by the way, if you're watching this, and share with your friends, and get them to subscribe so that we can get up to 1,000 subscribers, so we can do live streams on our phone and our iPad.
So we can film Star Wars episodes!
Well, we won't film them, but we will make our own Star Wars movie someday. That's our plan, right?
Yeah.
I don't know when we'll get there, but that's our plan.
And we're hoping to get a camera or something.
We have the camera.
What's your?
We need to start using it, though.
Yeah, but why haven't you put it up yet?
Oh, I have put it up. I took it back down so Mommy could use it. Remember?
No.
And I also filmed your beauty pageant. Remember that?
Oh, right. But connect it to the computer.
Yeah, well, I didn't edit it, but I could edit it.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, if you like this, I highly recommend, if you haven't seen the trailer, to see it. It's pretty darn awesome. The animation is really good. The trailer is pretty awesome, and Vega has given her judgment on Kathleen Kennedy, and she believes that she finally needs to go. So thank you for watching us, and we hope you enjoyed it, and may the Force be with you.
And I want to say one last comment. If Kathleen Kennedy is watching this, she should let Dave Filoni be president of Star Wars. Okay. And if Dave Filoni isn't good, just give it back to George Lucas. I don't care what he says. He's gonna keep it.
Right. Well, he sold it, so I guess he doesn't have control anymore. All right, with that, may the Force be with you, and good night.
Good night.